Hi, I'm Diana Montford. Yes, I'm transgender, born male, became female. How do you like them apples? Anyway, this is part 3 of our interview with Jeff Copeland, co-author of Holly Woodlawn's autobiography, A Low Life in High Heels, and his follow-up book detailing his relationship with Holly Woodlawn on a more personal level called You Madly Holly Woodlawn. And we are going to tie up all the loose ends we left before and find out what happened to Holly. And Jeff has some new projects he's working on, and we're going to ask him about those. And, so Jeff, what are your new projects?
One of my goals when I moved back to Missouri to look after my parents was to take all the stories, all the screenplays that I have that are stuck in storage boxes and novelize them. Now, some of those scripts, got really good options. I mean, one of them was optioned by an Academy Award winner named Michael Phillips. He did the Sting and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Another one was it was optioned by Madonna. That was a good deal.
Yes, and she also wanted to play Holly Woodlawn, I believe. And when that
She,
didn't work out, she wanted to play Candy Darling.
yeah. So what happened was Harvey Firestein got hold of the book and he took it to. This is what I read in Harvey Firestein's book recently.
You mean A Low Life in High Heels?
Yeah, he took A Low Life in High Heels to Madonna and got her interested. And then Liz Smith reported that Madonna was going to make A Low Life in High Heels into a movie. And that created, a firestorm of publicity because when Madonna, the most famous woman in the world at that
At
time,
that time, yes.
me and Holly, two Hollywood underdogs, okay, living at the Las Palmas apartments, and suddenly Madonna attaches herself to a low life in high heels. You know what that was? That was incredibly validating.
Are you as proud as I think you should be of your contribution to trans literature?
Well, you know what? I am very proud of it. I didn't really understand the impact of it until you and I started chatting. When Holly moved out of Las Palmas and she moved to Silver Lake, and her and Teresa were working together. Um,
Teresa being her publicist and manager.
right. I wasn't that involved that I recall. You know, Teresa had her hands full. Holly was busy. She was in fashion school and she was a lot of stuff was going on. But you have to understand when that book came out, no one cared about the person who was the with, the collaborator. Like, for instance, Holly would get fan letters about a low life in high heels,
Mhm.
but no one ever shared them with me. I didn't actually get to see them until maybe 2 years ago when Teresa sent me a couple of them.
Mhm.
So I wasn't really aware of the impact that story was having. Holly had moved on, and I had to reinvent myself. And I literally had to start over at the bottom. I got a job as a receptionist on a,
After writing A Low Life in High Heels.
yeah, a low life in high heels did nothing for my career. It's kind of shocking when I think about it, but I wound up working as a receptionist on a PBS science series called Future Quest, which was hosted by Jeff Goldblum.
I'm ready for my future now, Mr. DeMille.
And there were two women who ran that show. One was Kathleen French, she was the executive producer, and then there was Debbie Reed, she was the uh, associate producer. They took me under a wing and they hired me to be the receptionist. And after a few weeks of, I was determined to be the best receptionist they ever saw. They promoted me. They took me under wing and they said, you're too smart for this. show you how to be a production coordinator. And from being a production coordinator, I became a producer. I mean, I just worked my way up. So while Holly was out doing her thing, I was building, or rather rebuilding, a career in documentary television. And then shit started hitting the fan with A Low Life and High Heels. Uh, and that shit hit the fan for years.
Your name is not Holly Woodlawn. Your name is Jeff Copeland. Who the hell do you think you are? This is the Holly Woodlawn story, not Jeff Copeland's story.
You know, basically what I had to come to terms with is the fact that I was just, a chump.
Just take what you can get.
Tu Wong Fu came out. Remember
Which
Tu
is
Wong Fu?
excellent.
Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Those movies were big, and they stole our thunder.
Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment present To Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
We were too late to the game.
I disagree. I'm telling you, I know people, very intelligent people, who consider that book really important. Transgender people
Mhm.
who really consider that book extremely important in the transgender canon, really, truly.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doubting that. It's sort of like what I've experienced with Love You Madly, Holly Woodlawn. No
Well,
one.
all right, there's this film
Yeah.
called, what's it called? Somewhere in Time. Got terrible reviews, did poor business. Now it's a cult film because people saw it over and over again on the internet and DVD, whatever. Sometimes Vertigo got terrible reviews when it came out.
Yeah.
Now it's considered a masterpiece. Sometimes no one is a prophet in his own time, you know?
Oh, right. I think the problem that I've experienced with, Love You Madly, Holly Woodlawn, when I first started trying to get an agent for it, is it's considered a niche
Very
story.
much so, yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
those take a lot of effort to sell, and they don't yield a lot in the returns. So,
Did you make any money out of it?
out of what? Which one?
Low Life in High Heels.
We got the advance, which was nice, um, but it wasn't life-changing money. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It was enough money to pay off the Pontiac Fiero.
there you go.
Okay, it was enough money to buy a computer, but it wasn't enough money to buy a
It didn't
house.
buy you a Beverly Hills house with a pool and yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I wrote Love You Madly, Holly Woodlawn because I wanted to celebrate Holly, and I wanted to really I didn't want to forget.
No one knew her as well as you do. No one. No one
Well,
knew her that.
I mean, there is one person. Do you know Robert Starr?
Sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
This is Robert Starr's book. It's called The Heartbreak of Static Cling. Robert came out with this a couple years ago. Holly's in this book. It's a fun romp. Now, Robert met Holly like around 1969. He was part of that Max's crowd. Have you heard of this book? This is called Transfigures. It's by Gary Legault. This is an interesting book, and Holly's in this as well as Miss Marcia and a whole bunch of other interesting people. There were a lot of people who I think tried to help Holly and knew Holly, but no one, okay, knew Holly. Like when I had Holly, when we were together at Las Palmas and we were working on A Low Life in High Heels, it was just me and Holly.
Who's this chapter? Oh, we have to send.
Look, most people don't have the courage you have. Most people who live in Missouri or Chicago, they stay there.
Yeah,
You know,
I
they
know.
don't go to Hollywood. They don't go to New York. They don't do the stuff that you've done. You have every reason to be so proud of yourself, just your courage alone. But the amazing life that you've had, these memories are priceless. People go out into the street in your town. All these people wish they'd done what you've done, and they didn't.
Oh my
You know?
God. Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm so grateful that I spent my youth doing what I wanted to do. And I met, oh, wonderful people. For a while, I was working with Gary Shandling on
Oh,
some,
wow. Yeah, yeah.
oh, Gary Shandling, we were doing DVD bonus features for the Larry Sanders Show.
Mhm.
So, and I came on board because a friend of mine was one of the producers, and he said, "Listen, we're going to do this shoot with Carol Burnett, and I need some help. Do you want to come over?" It's like 6 weeks of work. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I am
Oh,
dying to meet
really?
Carol Burnett." Well, 6 weeks of work turned into 2 years. And we go over to Carol Burnett's condo on Wilshire Boulevard, and the entire cast of the Carol Burnett show is there. Lyle
Oh,
Wagner, Vicki Lawrence, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway. It was a hoot fest. I mean, that alone was worth the trip to Hollywood.
absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think, I really admire people like you, like my father. My father went from Baltimore to New York. Anyone who leaves a small town, even though Baltimore isn't so small, but you know,
Yeah.
it's not exactly the hub of worldwide sophistication. Sorry, Baltimore, if you're watching this, sorry. But I think that's really great. That's real courage, you know?
Well, when you leave your comfort zone,
That's what I mean. Most people wish they could and they don't dare, and you did. And that's great.
I just don't think I had a choice.
How do you mean?
Well, I grew up in a redneck community where I could not be who I was. I mean, had I stayed here, I would have been stifled, and I would have been just I would have suffocated.
Are you living in your parents' house? No?
No, I don't live in my parents' house. We had to sell it to pay for my mother's nursing home.
Oh, in this country and every other country should get it for free. But in the land of the red, white, and blue,
When I moved here, I thought about working in television, and I went out for some interviews, and I got frustrated. I was hired by an arts network here
mhm,
um, to produce, and I put a lot of work into my shoots, a lot of
right,
setup, a lot of research, and COVID hit, and it shut my shoot down. It shut everything down,
right.
and so I wound up getting a. I went to a grocery store. I thought, well, fuck this. I need to do something. And I thought I'll get a job at a grocery store for 6 months. I work part-time, 4 hours a day, just to bring in some money, so I have something.
Oh, naturally, yeah.
Um, I had no idea that I would love working at a grocery store. Because
Why? What do you love about it?
well, for 30 years, I worked in television, um, with a 5-year stint in real estate, Los Angeles real estate.
Oh, yeah.
And it was all high stress, high pressure, always flying by the seat of my pants. TV shows always getting canceled, you know. And same with real estate. I mean, deals would fall through. It was a just I was successful at it and I enjoyed it, but it was all consuming. I lost myself as a writer. I couldn't write. And so I decided to get this job at a grocery store, and there was no stress. So, here I am. I was 57 at the time. I got this job at the grocery store, discovered that I get health insurance, a low deductible plan for $9 a week.
Oh, God. Are they hiring? I'll be.
For the debacle of health insurance, I
Um,
mean, the
that is
grocery store,
unbelievable. That is fact really nice.
also what it did for me was it relaxed my brain. So there I am in the canned good aisle, stacking the Green Giant, and my creative wheels start turning because it's kind of like you get
Meditation.
meditation. And I wrote about 100 pages of the grocery store because it was such a funny story of all the shit that was going on, especially during COVID with people having meltdowns over toilet paper and Coke.
I remember. And refusing to wear masks. And
Oh,
I was in a supermarket, this man had an absolute meltdown because they wanted him to wear a mask. And the rest of us customers were sort of cowering, like, what's he going to do, you know?
yeah, it was insane. And it was, so I wrote 100 pages every day. I was writing about the grocery store. And I thought, why the hell are you writing about a grocery store? You should finish that story about Holly Woodlawn that you got 150 pages of,
While your memory is fresh.
Right. And so that's what the grocery store led me to writing Love You Madly, Holly Woodlawn.
That's great. I think, and look, I think it's great that you found a very nice paycheck job with terrific life health insurance, and you know, you can do whatever you want.
Diana, thank you so much for making time to chat with me. I really appreciate
You
it.
are a fascinating person, and you have, I keep saying this, you have truly entered immortality in history with your book, A Low Life in High Heels.
I'm so glad that we were actually able to pull this off.
So am I. Now,
Yeah.
don't forget to put us on YouTube.
I will not forget.
How can people get your books?
Well, there's, my books are wherever books are sold. You can go to feralhouse.com and buy the signed copies. You can go to Amazon or Thrift Books. I prefer to support the independent booksellers.
I agree.
In New York, it's going to be Rizzoli's, I think Strand, all the independent.
Always nice. Way to go,
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah. In Los Angeles, it's Book Soup and Vroman's and Stories and Echo Park. So
That's great. That's really
Yeah.
great. So, and that's Love You Madly Holly Woodlawn.
Lovely Medley Holly Woodlawn, and I'm really hoping that Feral House brings out A Low Life in High Heels.
I am hoping so too.
Yeah.
And if you go on eBay, you will find that it is quite the pricey book at this point, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that I think they're going to bring it out. I don't know. They've expressed interest. I just think they've got to make the logistics work.
Make sure that they know that the trans community really values that book and really needs it to become a perennial, because
Thank
it
you.
should be. It's going to be like the Candy Darling biography. It's going to be, I'm sure the Cynthia Carr Candy Darling biography will no doubt become a classic and a perennial, as will A Low Life in High Heels, as soon as somebody gets smart and realizes that there will be a long-term market for A Low Life in High Heels.
Well, I hope so. That Cynthia Carr book about Candy Darling is fantastic. Now, I would have never been friends with Candy Darling. She was a little too aloof for me.
Yeah, but you knew it was her act.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you knew she was playing a part. It wasn't like she was really like that. She wanted to seem like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. She wanted the whole 1930s movie star experience, you know?
Don't we all?
Yeah, don't we all? But hey, for a gal who slept on people's couches, Candy sort of pulled it off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a delight. My guest has been Jeff Copeland, a co-author of A Low Life in High Heels, the autobiography of Holly Woodlawn, Warhol transgender superstar, and Love You Madly Holly Woodlawn, which is in print as we speak and can be got at any venue selling books, also on Amazon, also wherever books are sold, and you should get it because it's a really good book. It gives keen insight into into the workings of Hollywood. God, I'm getting dyslexic here. Anyway, I love you a lot. See you next time. Mwah. Love you a lot. Bye.
Bye bye.